from Kolkata, who on the morning of Friday, August 13th, 1965, grabs his belongings, which are 2 sets of clothes and a trunk full of books, and boards the Jaladuta steamboat heading for America. Nothing can stop him, none of his family members, well-wishers, his aging body, not even the 2 heart attacks he suffers on the journey. He is on a mission. He has been asked by his spiritual master to teach the essence of ancient Indian wisdom in the Western world. His name is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, a 69-year-old Krishna worshipper. In the United States, he is completely alone, vulnerable, and without any help. He is constantly praying, asking his Lord for guidance and direction. After a year of struggle, he meets youth on New York's Lower East Side who are hungry for mysticism and belief.
I was wandering in the street, and some of the boys saw me, and gradually they came to me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
He starts teaching them, caring for them, and helping them to find their way in life without drugs or self-destructive behavior. Readapting the ancient Hindu Vaishnava philosophy and culture to new circumstances, in 1966, in New York City, he establishes the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In 1971, some of his young American and British disciples are anxious to accompany him back to his native Bengal. One of them is Jayapataka Swami, who over 40 years later, despite his current health challenges, is still one of the most influential leaders of the Mayapur project. The young foreigners become immersed in the ancient Hindu Vaishnava mysticism. They learn from Prabhupada and from old books how Sri Chaitanya, who appeared in the 15th century, has been worshipped as an incarnation of Lord Krishna. Lord Chaitanya's birthplace, Mayapur, is considered to be a holy place. Chaitanya's biographies give a detailed account of the unusual greatness of his scholarship at a very young age, and later on, his life as a saint at whose feet religious leaders and even kings paid their respects. Also, Lord Chaitanya was the revolutionary leader of the first civil disobedience movement in India that stood up to the oppressive caste system.
He was a great social reformer. India during his day was very segregated in terms of caste and separation of different classes of people. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu broke those barriers down and said that love of God is available for everyone. We still live in a world that's very much driven by social strife, ethnic strife, racial strife, nationalistic strife. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message transcends that. Doesn't matter what your background is, and you're a spiritual being. You're a part and parcel of God. We're all brothers and sisters. And globally, we can really be united and learn to live together peacefully when we see that we have that shared connection. And that's a very important message for this day and age.
By the mid-1970s, the Krishna movement has spread all over the world. Within a few years, Prabhupada and his thousands of followers have established over 100 temples and farm communities on 6 continents.
I was a hippie at college, and people were looking for alternative consciousness. And I studied various religions. I studied Buddhism, I studied Taoism, Egyptian Book of the Dead, all these different religions and spiritual paths. But none of it made very much sense to me. So that when I came across Srila Prabhupada's books, the Bhagavad Gita, and also George Harrison, the albums that he did with the devotees in London, I became attracted to the chanting of Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And I also had a friend who was a hippie with me, and he became a devotee. So after I finished with college, I went to live in the mountains as a hermit because the 60s were very tumultuous, so I wanted some peace and quiet. And he would come visit me and bring me books and beads, and gradually got into the lifestyle of Krishna consciousness. And then I corresponded with Srila Prabhupada, and we started a relationship like that. And in 1976, I was in Detroit when Prabhupada came to visit.
With Iskcon entering almost the 5th decade of its existence, I think this is what best that could happen to mankind. In fact, Iskcon, which is International Society for Krishna Consciousness, truly propagates the virtues of Bhagavad Gita and the teachings of Lord Krishna as when he was present on this earth. I think it's wonderful the way in which the entire movement is taking shape in this part of the country. I am very proud of being associated with this temple for the last 4 years now. Whatever sevas are available, I just want to do them to my best. And I think for each one of us, what message this movement has given us is, can we become more Krishnamay by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You all must be aware that in Kharghar, in 9 acres of land, jewel of Maharashtra is coming up very fastly. The project is going to cost around 110 crores of rupees, and once it is completed, it will be a jewel of Maharashtra. It will give a very nice Vedic cultures, heritage for our mankind, and it will not be only beneficial for the citizen of Kharghar, but whole Navi Mumbai and Maharashtra. This Iskcon is a very famous temple, and all over the world, more than 400 temples are there around the world, which propagates the Krishna consciousness to all our faithful devotees. And at last, I request and appeal everyone to please chant with great love and devotion, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Prabhupada understood very clearly that science without religion is incomplete. Religion without science is incomplete. The two do go together. Religious texts have a long history of scientific relevance. In the world of science, An idea or theory may have many different inspirations. A scientific idea could come from some religious text, it could come from a dream, it could come from a novel or a poem. The source of the idea isn't what's important. What's important is that a scientist is able to justify the idea in terms of observation, experiment, and scientific inference. If that can be done, it doesn't matter where the idea comes from.
People often make a distinction between faith and knowledge, that religion is the abode of faith and science is the abode of knowledge. But this distinction is very artificial. Both religion and science, each of them have faith and knowledge. The modern approach is that I have faith in my perception, and if I can perceive something, then it's fact. Our approach is somewhat different. We have solid scientific knowledge that is based on the Vedic statements, and we have faith in those Vedic statements. And the two combined mean that we are in a position to be able to understand properly the scientific workings behind everything.
But nowadays we have this mechanistic worldview that's being presented to us through the schools and colleges, through the newspapers, through the TV and all the other media, and they're presenting a rather dreary picture of the universe, that it's just some dull matter, and somehow or another it magically gives rise to life. When you look at the actual science that's being presented, much of it is just speculation. It's not based on any proven fact.
Prabhupada's mission was to confront modern scientific atheistic theory, which is that life comes from matter. You know, that somehow or other there was a big bang and life evolved, Darwin's theory and all that. But from the Bhagavatam we understand that that is just not true, that life comes from life.
Quality of a different worldview than the mechanistic worldview which is currently prevalent and which is really being pushed very strongly, that this is the only way that you can see the universe. There are other ways, and we want people to know what those other ways are, and then we'll leave it to them to decide what they find to be more credible.
On Earth is about to be realized in all its glory.
The opening of this temple is really going to be a historic event.
Prabhupada wanted more than a temple. He actually wanted to change the consciousness of the world.
We are aiming for a worldwide audience. We want to create something here which will capture the attention of the world, which will challenge people, which will open their minds.